As you move through Key Stage 1, this is how we solve our multiplication. We start by using mental methods for the 2 times, 5 times and 10 times table. And we also use commutativity, which means that times can be done in any order. So we can do 4 times 2 or 2 times 4, and they both equal the answer 8. We start by using mental methods for the 2 times, 5 times and 10 times table. And the way we teach the children, we ask the children to look at the number sentence and read it. So 7 times 2. We then ask them to think, which pattern is it easier to count in? Can you count into your 2s confidently or your 7s confidently? Normally they will say their 2 times table. So then we teach them to put 7 fingers up and then count in 2s. So it'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. The answer is 14 for both 7 times 2 and 2 times 7. The next calculation, 4 times 5. Again, we ask the children to think, which pattern can you count in more easily, the 4s or the 5s? If it's the 5s, then we ask them to put up 4 fingers and then count in the pattern of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. The answer to 4 times 5 and 5 times 4 is 20. And the final calculation, 6 times 10. Again, we ask the children to think, can you count in your 6s more easily or your 10s? Normally they will say the 10s. So we then teach them to put up 6 fingers and count in 10s. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. The answer would be 60, both for 6 times 10 and 10 times 6. After the mental methods, we then move on to using a number line for the 3 times table and the 4 times table. And this is the way we solve times and a number line. So again, we'd ask the children to read the number sentence. So 4 times 3. We'd then ask them to draw their number line and to start at 0. We always encourage them to put the 0 first before moving on to anything else. We then teach them to look at the first number, which is obviously 4, and that's the number of hops they need to draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Once they've drawn the 4 hops, we ask them to look at their second number, which is 3, which tells them the pattern they're going to count in. So we're going to count in the pattern of 3s for every single hop. So it would be 3 on the first hop, 6 on the second, 9 on the third, and 12 on the fourth hop. And to finally answer, they look at the end of the number line and the last number they wrote, which was the number 12. So 4 times 3 is equal to 12. And then finally we move on to partitioning. So when you have a tens and ones number times by a ones number. So to start with, we'd ask the children to read the number sentence. So 14 times 5. We'd then partition the 14 into its tens and its ones. It has 1 10, which is 10, and 4 ones. And we times each of these by the ones number here. So we would do 10 times 5 and 4 times 5. To solve these two calculations, the children would use the mental methods they'd been taught previously. They'd put 10 fingers up and count in the pattern of 5, which equals 50. And then they would put 4 fingers up and count in the pattern of 5 to get the answer 20. Once they've solved both of those, to get the final answer, they would add those two numbers together. So 50 add 20 equals 70. So therefore 14 times 5 equals 70.